We are saying goodbye to indices, and this is probably the last problem set for indices. And as I anticipated, this is going to be my favorite video because the questions covered are mostly from recent exams. So the question says simplify 81 to the power 3 over 4. We are assuming that you do not have a calculator. So these questions are non-calculator. Now, just like any other question in previous videos where you had a base to the power something and the something was a fraction, it means that I basically have to find a way of representing 81 as something to the power 4 simply because the denominator on the outside is a 4. Now, what do I know? I know that 9 by 9 is 81, and this is basically 3 squared by 3 squared, 81, which means that 81 is basically 3 to the power 4. So this means that when I multiply, the 4's will cancel out. Hence, I'll have 3 to the power 3, which is basically 27. The question says x to the power 2 over 3 divided by x to the power negative 4 over 3. When it's like this, I am simply going to recall that when I have a division sign, it basically means I should subtract the powers. So this is going to be 2 over 3 minus negative 4 over 3. It is often a student error to forget this negative when they have included this negative. Now, you have to know that if you have a negative and a negative, it's more like a plus. And also, if you have a fraction and the denominators are the same, you basically have to work with the top part. So this means that we can say that this is equivalent to 2 plus 4 over 3. 2 plus 4 is basically 6 over 3, which means the final answer is 2 because 3 goes into 6 twice. Now, this question is saying 8 over y to the power 6, 8 divided by y to the power 6, all to the power negative 1 over 3. And I notice that the power is a negative. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to recall that this negative power just means inverse. And inverse means reciprocal. Reciprocal meaning if I have 8 over y to the power 6, its reciprocal is y to the power 6 over 8. I basically took the bottom part up and the top part down. So this is going to be y to the power 6 over 8, all to the power 1 over 3. Notice how the negative has went away because I took a reciprocal. Then next, I'm going to basically split. But before I do so, I have to notice or observe the 8. I have to find a way of representing the 8 as something to the power 3 because the power in the denominator or power outside is a 3. Now 8 is more or less 2 to the power 3. Then what I'm going to do is I'll say y to the power 6, this is by 1 over 3. And then 2, this is 1 over 3. Basically what I was doing is I was distributing the power so that it can affect both elements. Now 6 times 1 over 3 is basically 2. So this is y squared. And then 3 times 1 over 3, basically the 3's cancel out and I'm left with 1. So it's like 2. So this means that my final answer is y squared over 2. Now the next question says half x to the power 2 over 3 all to the power 3. Now what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to distribute. The 3 affects the half and also the thing. So this will be basically half to the power 3 x 2 over 3 times 3. And then half to the power 3 is more or less 1 to the power 3 over 2 to the power 3. And then here the 3's cancel out, so I am simply left with the power 2. And then 1 to the power 3 is 1, 2 to the power 3 is 8. This should not be hard to compute because you should know these are basically cube numbers. You should know your cube numbers by heart. So continuing, the question says 32x to the power 10 all to the power 1 over 5. Just like I've been doing, I'm going to find a way of representing 32 as something to the power 5. Reason why I'm picking 5 is because the power outside has a denominator 5. Now 32, just like you have seen in previous videos, is the same as 2 to the power 5. So this means that we now have 2 to the power 5, x to the power 10, and 1 to the power 5 outside, which means that our next job is to distribute. I'll basically be distributing the 5. When you distribute the 5, it basically multiplies out. Now 5 times 1 over 5, the 5's cancel out, so I'll be having a 2. And then 10 times 1 over 5 is basically 2, so this is 2x to the power 2. Then the next question is saying 81 m to the power 8 all over power 1 over 4. So basically you have to find a way of representing 81 as something to the power 4, mainly because the power outside has a denominator 4. So it's like the denominator dictates the power you are going to break your whole number. 81 is 3 to the power 4 because 3 by 3 is 9 by 3, 27 by 3, 81. So this means this is 3 to the power 4. Then next, what I'm going to do is I'll be distributing 3 to the power 4 times 1 over 4, m to the power 8 times 1 over 8, actually 1 over 4. And then here, the 4's are going to cancel out, so you'll be left with 3. And then 4 here once, 4 here twice. So basically 2 times 1, that's 2. So this will be 3m to the power 2. Then the next question says 36x to the power 16 all to the power half. Just like I have been doing. Then 36 is basically 6 squared. The reason why I'm powering this with 2 is because of the power in the denominator. Then what I'm going to simply do is I'll distribute 2 times half is basically 1. 16 by half is 8. Quick mental math. Then the next question says 125 to the power 2 over 3. When it's like this, I have to find a way of representing 125 as something to the power 3. We all know that 125 is a cube number. It is always vital to memorize your cube numbers and square numbers. These are important in questions. Now, 5 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 2 over 3. Basically, the 3's will cancel out. So you are left with 5 squared, which gives us 25. Is this the last question? Yes, it is. The next question says 16x to the power 16 all to the power 1 over 2. So what I will simply do is I'll find something to the power 2 x to the power 16. It has to be something to the power 2 because you want the 2's to later cancel out. So 16 is the same as 4 squared. And then what I'll do next is I'll distribute 2 by half x 16 by half. And then 2 by half is basically 1. And then 16 by half is basically 8. This question feels very familiar. Sorry if it's a repeat.